Hey guys, it's Richie. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm recording a DVD video today. What the fuck? I know I haven't done that in a while because the game has been in a terrible state for a while, so I literally uninstalled it. But looks like I might be brought back because Myers rework is happening already. I didn't expect it so soon. I did not expect this so soon at all. This is insane. I've already had proposed changes for this killer for a long time because he's only had one significant set of balance changes in 9 fucking years, and he's super outdated. And I wanted stuff like reverse the stalk curve, which they actually ended up doing, and stuff like, I don't know, unbreakable brutal strength in tier 3, destroy breakable walls instantly while in tier 3, tier up with a button like Oni, stuff like that. But these aren't balance changes. This is a fucking rework, so I'm like, oh my god. And they have base kit unbreakable. Oh my god. Okay, I mean, it's 90 seconds. Recover while crawling! They don't need this! Recovery now occurs passively! You know what, man? I can win without slugging a lot of the times. This is what I'm worried about. Okay, because sometimes I just gotta tunnel someone out the game. When a survivor is hooked, their hook status is hidden from the killer. What? This is disabled once all generators are completed. Like that matters? Unhooked survivors gain following stat effects. Hasted endurance like they did before. What the fuck is elusive? No collision with other players. Immunity to killer instinct. See killer or nearby. Oh my god, dude. Loss, one conspicuous action. Ace endurance are disabled once all generators are completed. Added a unique effect to the killer hook state UI that indicates the last survivor they hooked. After completing a unique hook, killers get the following benefits. Oh, okay. Bonus damage for next generator kick. Temporary haste. Temporary reveals. Temporary reveal survivors. Think base kit barbecue. Whoa, they're excluding killers from base kit mechanics here. These effects are slightly lessened for the Blight, the Dark Lord, the Ghoul, the Hillbilly, and the Nurse. Holy shit. Added new effects as disincentivized tunneling. What the hell is elusive? If the survivor that was last hooked is sacrificed or killed, generators cannot be regressed or blocked. Wait, what? If the survivor that was last hooked is sacrificed, generators cannot... Okay, no, this is too much. I'm sorry. Like, the whole killer buffs, like, trying to incentivize people to not tunnel is not nearly enough for all of this. It's impossible to find someone off hook now because there's no notification and there's no loud noise or anything like that. You have to camp if you want to do that now. And then if you kill someone before 6 total hook stages, all the survivors get permanent repair speed bonus. What the fuck are they thinking? Way too over the top. I mean, I don't even think that survivors needed any sort of tunneling or anti-camp or anti-slug. I don't think they needed any of this shit base kit. If you have a problem with this, just use perks, like Off the Record and Unbreakable, okay? Replaced Evil Within with 2 modes that— What? He has a stalker mode and he has a stealth mode and a chase mode. This is kind of what people were wanting in the sense that he to go back, the ability to go back into tier 1, increased vault speed, bonuses to lunge range, break speed, and stun recovery. Okay. The numbers, Mason. I need them. How much? How much vault speed? How much lunge range? How much break speed? How much stun recovery? It better be more than what it was before. Survivors no longer become exposed! No! Survivors are no longer exposed! Oh, I don't like this anymore. No, dude, that was the most powerful part of my— Okay, this better be crazy. Whatever they're doing for this shit better be ridiculous. Because the most powerful part about Myers' kit is that he could sneak up to someone in undetectable, pop tier 3, or not with undetectable, but he could sneak up to someone with a very small terror radius, pop up and one-shot them. That was the strongest part about his kit. They're removing this entirely. So this, whatever this evil incarnate mode is, better be fucking insane. 4.6 meter per second movement speed, 40 meter terror radius, increased vault speed, even further, I guess. Unlocks Slaughtering Strike? Oh my god, he has a fucking chase power now. Hold the power button to charge this ability, reducing movement speed. Oh my god, no, he's dash slop. He's dash slop! Press the attack power while charging to quickly lunge forward, adjusting your angle. The length of the lunge depends on the... So is this like base kit coup? Oh, he does have insta-down! Oh! He enters the... Oh my god, if the survivor enters... Okay, so coup de grace is no longer good on Myers. Because this is the new coup de grace. Can also use the... Holy shit! Okay, never mind, we're back. Ability can destroy pallets and breakable walls, please. That's insane. Unlocks the ability to grab orc and kill, or perform a regular Mori on survivors that would die the next time they are hooked. Base kit tombstone for people who are on death hook. That is exactly what I wanted. Removed limited pool of stock points. Yes. Removed distance modifier is big. Removed distance modifier is big. Reduced stalk range is but removed distance modifier is big. Moving while stalking has increased movement speed, but incurs a reduced stalk rate. Reworked his add-ons. Tombstone is cooked. Reworked his add-ons. Myers is getting a fucking add-on pass. He's had the most outdated base kit, the most outdated add-on. This is insane. Oh my god, I'm actually so excited for this, dude. This is Slaughtering Strike. It's base kit coup. Oh, wait a minute. Dude, we're back. Okay, listen, at the end of the day, he's still not any higher than, like, low B tier, mid B tier at best, because he has no map mobility. He's probably closer to C tier, even with this. But he was bottom 3 before, so I'll take it. The fact that Slaughtering Strike destroys pallets is so sick. He has a fucking chase power now. I also really hope that stuff like the hair bow and the lock of hair, right, they used to extend tier 3. I hope they still extend Evil Incarnate mode. Because 1 minute of that shit has never been enough. I need like a minute 30. Oh my god. Understanding his kit has changed quite a lot. We've done a pass on nearly all his add-ons, reworking many of them to offer more unique effects, in particular for those who enjoyed his own playstyle. What? Fragrant Tufts of Hair will change Evil Incarnate to function like Old Myers. You know, it says here that Slaughtering Strike can be used to destroy pallets. I do also really hope that it can destroy breakable walls. Alright, y'all, I'm recording this part of the video a couple of hours later now that I've had my opinions settle for a while and I've had some time to develop my thoughts. So I'm going to go over the entire patch notes and just my opinion on everything and what I think and shit. So for this slugging reduction bullshit, I really don't think that the large majority of this is necessary. Base kit unbreakable after 90 seconds, I think is fine. I don't think that's going to affect the large majority of matches. Although, yeah, I do genuinely think that if you do down everyone, you should just win the game. And this is gonna prevent that, which is pretty lame. Twins is also getting really indirectly nerfed by this. I'm sure the majority of the Survivor player base probably is a fan of that. But yeah, I think Twins is actually kind of cool. So that sucks. I'm worried what they're gonna do to the boon, boon exponential and unbreakable in response to this, but we'll see. But yeah, in general, base kit unbreakable I think is actually fine. Like whatever, I'll just deal with it. It's not like I win my game with slugging most of the time anyway. I do think that Survivor's recovering while crawling, it makes no sense and is just completely and totally unnecessary. They did not need base kit tenacity at all. So yeah, that's stupid. I don't think that should be a thing. I don't think they should be able to relocate themselves and recover at the same time. At least, if I'm going to slug someone and they're going to choose to recover, at least make it so that I know more or less where they're going to be so I can come back and pick them up. So yeah, overall slugging, this is mostly fine. I don't really care too much about any of this. As for the tunneling, this is where the majority of my problems lie. So like, hiding the hook status from the killer is fucking lame. I understand that it can be kind of lame to, get off hook and the killer just circles back to the hook as soon as you get out, but like, you have to think about this from the killer's perspective. If the killer goes and hooks someone and they see no one else for a while, and then they get a notification on the hook, of course you're going to go back to the hook because it's the only source of information you're getting, right? Now, they tried to fix this with making it so that if you hook a unique survivor, you get base kit barbecue, and I'm sure that'll help a little bit, but still, I'm not a big fan of this aura change. Or the notification change, rather. Also, disabling this once all the generators are completed is like, okay, as if that matters, dude, sure. They gain haste, endurance, and elusive. I think elusive is fucking stupid. They don't need this off hook, man. Okay? Haste and endurance is fine, whatever. It's been in the game for a while. I've already, gotten used to it. Elusive, yeah, sure, let's just nerf Spirit even more, I guess, right? So, whatever. I don't like elusive. I think it's fucking, like, stupid, and they do not need base kit off the record, dude. Like, minus the endurance part of it. Like, they don't need that shit, so I don't agree with that. No collision is fine, whatever. Immunity to killer instinct, see the killer aura nearby is perfectly fine. This is fine too. This is fine too. Okay, after completing a unique hook, killer gets the following benefits. I'm a big fan of this actually. You can get like a little mini base kit pop, temporary haste, and you can get base kit barbecue. Now, knowing behavior, all of these values are going to be dog shit, but at least it's in the game, I guess. I'm also glad that they are balancing them in accordance to other killers. Like, they're balancing killers differently here. Like, look, this is the first time they've ever done this, where killers are actually going to be, like, some killers to get less of a bonus off of base kit mechanics, which is kind of crazy. Of course, this only adds to the problem of this game is just one huge knowledge check, but it is what it is. Now, here's the problem with this, right? This is the big problem right here. What I'm highlighting right now. This is the big problem. This is my problem with the developer update. This is what I see all over Twitter. And yeah, this shit is unbelievably problematic. Neither of these two changes should be to make it to live. Neither of these two changes should make it to live. I hate both of them. They are awful. If a survivor dies before 6 total hook states, all remaining survivor gain a repair speed bonus for the rest of the trial. This is fucking horseshit. 6 is way too much of a generous number, because a lot of the time, I'm killing people before 6 hooks, and that's not because I tunneled someone, because... Let me make you an example. Let's say in a hypothetical, right? Let's say that I'm trying to, like, move my hands into my face cam here. Okay, yeah, let me move over here. Okay, so in this hypothetical, let's say that there are 2 survivors, right? There's survivor 1, survivor 2, right? Let's say I hook survivor 1, okay? Then I go and then I hook survivor 2. Then I hook survivor 1 again. Then I hook survivor 2 again. I have a total of 4 hooks. Both of these guys have been hooked 2 times. Now I go back and I hook survivor 1. I'm fucked. That's before 6 total hook states, and I'm going to get punished for this, even though I didn't tunnel anyone. I alternated hooks between 2 survivors. The only way around this is to hook a random 3rd survivor 1 time, and I shouldn't have to do that. I'm sorry, but I shouldn't have to do that. I don't even think the majority of this tunneling reduction bullshit was even necessary, because if you don't want to be tunneled off hook, just bring off the record. There were perks that survivors already have access to that solve all of this. But because people cry and bitch, we're getting it base kit. So, if they're so adamant about keeping this 6 total hook state bullshit in the game, at the very least reduce it to 3, so that way I can at least alternate hook states between 2 survivors instead of having to hook a random 3rd one time to not get punished, which makes no sense, because that's way too slow, by the way. That's way too slow. I'm sorry, but if you are in anywhere near relatively high MMR, you cannot focus down 3 survivors. No, you are focusing down 1 or 2, or else you're going to lose the game. All right? If you're fighting a good enough, competent squad, it doesn't even need to be a Swift that's bringing a bunch of meta perks and like stuff like toolboxes and brand new parts and, Vigil Sprint Burst. You cannot afford to focus down 3 survivors. You got to choose 1 or 2, find the weak link of the team, and get them out the game as quickly as possible. All right? That's just how it's going to be in high MMR, and this is going to make that fucking impossible, right? Of course, yes, maybe, giving them that repair speed bonus for the rest of the trial is worth it, as long as you're playing a 1v3, but here comes the second part. And before we talk about that, though, there's one more thing I want to talk about with this whole 6 total hook state bullshit, which is the fact that even if they reduce it to 3 like I want them to, it's still gonna fuck over some killers, namely Sadako, for example, who now gets punished for condemning people and killing them before 6 hooks. Sadako's a killer that treats hooks as a secondary objective. She's building condemns on people, hooking them to lock in those stacks, and then moriing them. A lot of the time, if you can manage your condemned correctly and play well, you are killing survivors before 6 hooks. Not because you're tunneling anyone, but because you're outplaying them. You're managing your TVs. You're turning them off before they can insert tapes. You're keeping track of where the survivors are. Sadako's a very, very difficult killer. You need a lot of knowledge, a lot of game knowledge, a lot of, not necessarily mechanically difficult, but it's a very difficult, control killer. Right? And she gets completely gutted by this. Any killer that has a secondary win condition gets completely shit on by this. So they need to reduce these hook states down to 3, and they need to make it so that this isn't affected by killer powers. If a survivor dies before 6 total hook states, with the exception of if they died to a killer power like Sadako Stare or like Pig Trap or something like that. They need to make an exception for these killers, because they're already not good, by the way. All the killers in the game with a secondary win condition are usually not good. So, yeah. Anyway, that change needs to not make it in the game, but if it does, those are the changes I would make to it. But this second line of text, the real worrying one here, the really bad one, like this is bad. This one is bad, but it's manageable, kind of, not really. This second one, though, this second one makes me not even want to play the fucking game, dude. Like, I was gonna hop... I haven't played DBD for the past month, because I think the state of the game has been atrocious. They don't want to nerf Vigil. Fucking Killer is going through its rough era at the moment. They buffed items in the last patch and nerfed Franklin's, and The Walking Dead had a million bugs and all this shit. And then, you know, the whole fiasco with the stream happened with Ots Darva, you know, and the DBD people basically being like, you don't know what you're talking about, even though he did, and all this shit, right? I haven't played the game for the past month because the state of the game has been terrible. But this makes me not want to play it even further, even though I was planning on it because Myers is getting a rework and I'm very excited for that. If the survivor that was last hooked is sacrificed or killed, generators cannot be regressed or blocked. I assume this means for the rest of the trial. What the fuck are we thinking with this? Genuinely. How much crack cocaine did you need to fucking snort? How much heroin did you need to inject into your veins to make this fucking change? What the fuck are you guys thinking? Genuinely, what are you thinking? This is ridiculous. This is crazy, okay? You are punishing a killer for killing people. That is what's happening, and it's a very big punishment. You do not have access to regression or blocking generators for the rest of the game. All your gen defense perks are disabled. Kicking generators no longer does anything. That's insane. Imagine if there was a killer mechanic that made it so that all survivors can only stack up to one person on each generator. This is pretty comparable to that. That's how much of a drastic measure this is. There is nothing that you could possibly introduce to DBD that is so unbelievably powerful that it needs the downside of disabling gen regression for the rest of the game. There is nothing so powerful that it needs that big of a downside. Certainly not this. Certainly not tunneling. Tunneling is not that powerful to warrant something like this. Okay? So this is ridiculous. This needs to be removed. This cannot make it to live. I am incredibly scared of this change. This needs to fuck off. And whoever thought of this should be fired, dog. Holy shit. That is crazy. If the survivor that was last hooked is sacrificed or killed, generators cannot be regressed or blocked. That's crazy. That can also apply to Sadako, by the way. Like, what if the person you're about to condemn, Mori, was also the last person that you hooked because you wanted to lock in their stacks? Now, there goes all your gen defense for the rest of the game. What the hell are they thinking with this? This cannot make it to live. If there's anything in this patch that cannot make it to live, it is this. If I have to choose one thing from this patch that cannot get to live, it's this. Everyone should be freaking out about this. Every single person should be freaking out about this. This is fucked. This one is fucked. All the other stuff in this, or not all the other stuff, but a lot of the other stuff in this patch I can excuse. I can look past Base Kit Tenacity, Base Kit Unbreakable, Base Kit Off the Record, the Elusive Status Effect, all this other bullshit with tunneling, the 6 hook state bullshit, I hate it. But you know what? If I really have to deal with it, I'll deal with it. But this? Fuck off. Fuck off. This is crazy. This is fucking crazy. No one should have to deal with this, okay? This is insane. So, this cannot happen, dog. This cannot happen. You are punishing a killer for killing people. That is what this is, okay? Like, this is not to disincentivize tunneling. This is, you cannot hook the same person twice, or you're cooked. You are fucked. You are fucked, literally. That's insane, dog, okay? Like, the fact, I'm sorry, but me as a killer, I should not have to go out of my way to keep track of, oh man, I hooked this guy last, so I can't hook him again, because if not, I'll kill him, and then I can't use any more gen regression, right? I should not have to play around that, okay? I should not have to... I know there's going to be a UI element to keep track of the last person that you hooked. I don't give a fuck, okay? I don't give a shit about that. Like, I should not have to play... That's not something that I should have to play around, okay? I'm sorry, it's not. So... yeah, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. They either need to revert all this shit, or we're gonna need some crazy compensating killer buffs, because this whole base kit barbecue, temporary haste, and you know, bonus damage for you know, like mini pop or whatever, all that shit is not gonna be enough. No, absolutely not. Okay, I know they're trying to make it so that, you know, I know behavior wants us to play like an angel and spread out our hooks and, you know, hook 16 times. That's not going to happen, man. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry, but the way Dead by Daylight is right now, that's not going to happen. And maybe this is their attempt to inch it closer to that, but that would require restructuring the entire game, in my opinion, and that's not worth it. I'm sorry, but I just don't think that's worth it, because that's way too much change. You're going to lose a lot of the player base. People are not going to be happy with it throughout the entire way, and the end result might not even be worth it. So, yeah, I hate this. I really, really, really do hate this. But yeah. Anyway. Okay, enough of the tunneling and the slugging and all this shit that I hate. Let's talk about what I'm actually excited for here, being the Myers rework. I'm not going to talk about any of the other killer balance changes, because I don't give a fuck. I don't play any of those guys, but I think Kaneki got his kidnap tech removed, so womp womp. But yeah, everyone bitching about that guy, I mean, I don't like fighting him either, but I wouldn't say he's broken, so those are my 2 cents. I don't play Survivor anyway, though. I'm like pretty much a killer one trick, but Myers. Okay, so how do I feel about these changes, man? I have been wanting a Myers rework for so long, over half of a decade. Myers is a killer that has been unplayably dog shit for like 7 to 8 of the 9 years that he has been in DBD. So this is long, and I do mean long overdue. How do I actually feel about this? I very much like the Stalker and Pursuer mode. Why did I say it like that? It's kind of similar to how people have been suggesting, oh, Myers should be able to go back into Tier 1. Well, this is pretty much that, right? You have Undetectable, you move at 110, and you can stalk survivors. I'm a very big fan of this. And now in Pursuer mode, which is pretty much his new Tier 2, you have increased vault speed, bonuses to lunge, break speed, stun recovery. Great. Built-in enduring, built-in brutal strength, probably less though, but I hope it stacks with the perks. Increased vault speed, increased lunge range, I'm a big fan of that. And then you have Evil Incarnate mode, which is your new Tier 3, and I hope you can still get it as easily as new Tier 3. Or at least, I have some concerns about that, and we'll get to that, right? So far, I'm ecstatic with this, because Stalker mode and Pursuer mode, I think, are pretty much fine, as is, based on what I'm reading. Evil Incarnate, here's where stuff starts to get dicey for me, right? So, 40 meter terror radius, you still move at 115, increase vault speed even further. Cool. I would maybe increase the lunge as well. Nah, it's fine. Okay, so increase. We need to know the numbers. Okay, we don't have any numbers right now. I need to know the numbers. Here's the big thing. You have Slaughtering Strike, which is this. It's pretty much built-in coup de grace. Everyone is saying, oh, Myers is dash slop now, and even I said this earlier in the video. He's not dash slop now. They just give him coup, which makes sense because coup is one of the best perks on him. So now he has a base kit, as he should. So I'm a big fan of Slaughtering Strike. I think it's good. And people need to fuck off when it comes to bitching about it. It's not movie accurate. I mean, Myers is still stalking you just like he does in the movies. The only way they can make him even more movie accurate is if they give him some sort of map mobility, which would be awesome. Like how he appears out of nowhere in the movies, seems to like teleport. That'd be cool. But anyway, Slaughtering Strike, it's pretty much coup de grace, and if you hit it, you insta-down someone. So it's his new insta-down. Personally, I hope that this does not have any sort of minimum charge duration, because that could be jank if I just want to, insta-down the dude right in front of me, which I should be able to. This also would maintain Myers' strength of being able to be pretty much undetectable, show up, pop tier 3, and then insta-down you. Now he can do the same thing, which is awesome. And if you're on Death Hook, you actually just die, because now he has Tombstone base kit on Death Hook, which is awesome. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Slaughtering Strike, it works like pretty much like coup, like I said. The fact that it can destroy pallets is awesome. I hope it also works on breakable walls. Very happy with this. Very happy that Myers finally has a chase power. Unlocks the ability to grab and kill or perform a regular Mori on survivors who would die the next time they're hooked. So now if someone's on Death Hook, you can just tombstone them or Mori them on the floor, which is great. This is one of the, word for word, bar for bar, this is one of the changes I wanted. Very happy with this. And then they adjusted stalking. So now we no longer have a limited pool of stalk. Thank God, only took 9 years. And this is the part that I don't like. The removed distance modifier is fine, whatever. But why can we only stalk from 32 meters or closer? That is stupid, okay? Myers likes distance stalking now. It used to be close stalking, then they reworked it, then it was distance stalking, and it felt good in my opinion. And now we're kind of going back to close stalking, kind of? I don't like this, okay? I think that the reduced, the stalk range needs to be much bigger. Like, much bigger. Even if that means bringing the distance modifier back, I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. I have to try him on PTB when he drops. But having a stalk range only being 32 meters or less sounds like it'd feel like shit. But we'll have to see. I also hope that you can toggle between Stalker and Pursuer mode instantly with no cooldown. Because having toggleable stealth like that would be great. Anyway, the final thing here is moving while stalking has increased movement speed but incurs a reduced stalk rate, which I'm a fan of. So I like that. And then reworked his add-ons, of course, that's not really worth talking about because we don't know what they're going to do to his add-ons, other than the fact that Fragrant Tuft of Hair, which was previously unlimited tier 3, now reverts you to playing like Old Myers, which is kind of cool. So how do I feel about this? Well, Tombstone is going to get gutted, so I like the fact that they made a base kit. I like the fact that he has a chase power now. I like the fact that you can essentially go back to tier 1 whenever you want. Overall, this is a successful rework on paper, but I will have to play him and see. I do think that the lunge is lazy. It's essentially just pig ambush, but with an insta-down attached to it. So I wish they did something cooler. But you know what, man? At this point, I will take anything I can get, and I'm happy with this chase power personally. The only thing that I would add to this personally is I think it would be cool if they brought back the old Myers sound cue when he was about to get tier 3 back from the original Halloween PTB. I hope they keep his little tier up sound effect, the Halloween theme or whatever. I think that'd be cool. And also I want him to have a teleport. I want Myers to have a teleport. I do think that even with all these changes, he's not going to be any higher than like mid B tier at absolute best, probably high C tier, if I'm being more realistic. And I think giving him a map mobility, like a teleport, kind of how he appears out of nowhere in the movies, would be pretty much the last major change I think he needs. Anyway, I'm very excited to try this out on PTB, but like I said, I don't even want to install the game to play him because of these terrible tunneling changes, namely this one, right? So I really hope this change does not go to live servers. I really hope the change above it, this one also doesn't go to live servers. Everything else here I also don't like, but at least I can kind of stomach it. These last two, though, horrible. These two cannot hit live servers. I don't know what the hell behavior was thinking with this shit. This is crazy. Everything else, again, I don't like it, but I can kind of stomach it at least. But not those two, bro. Not these two. This shit gotta go. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Big fan of the Myers rework. Well, I won't know until I play it, but on paper it sounds good. I'm very excited for it. It's something that I've been waiting years upon years upon years upon years for. He's been literally in the game for almost 9 years, and it took all the way up until last year for him to get his first significant set of balance changes, which is crazy to me how long he's been outdated and neglected, but finally we're getting something. So I'm very happy with that. Can we update his model next and maybe get some cool cosmetics from, I don't know, Halloween, the remake 2016, I think it came out? That'd be pretty awesome. And get old Lori in there while we're at it. But anyway, whatever. I'm done yapping. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you for listening. And that's all I got about this patch. These are my thoughts. Yeah. I'll see you guys around. Bye.